This is the story of the lives of two men who fought each other in one of the most fascinating trials in modern history. The trial took place in QB7, Queen's Bench Courtroom number 7 of the Royal Courts of Justice in London. There, Sir Adam Kelno, a refugee European doctor and concentration camp survivor, brought suit for libel against Abraham Cady, World War II ace and world-famous American novelist. For nearly 30 years, they lived their lives unaware of each other until they came into explosive contact in our time in these medieval court buildings. In the lives of these two men, in their conflict, in this tragedy, is the heart of the story of a generation that, in the unforgettable phrase of those times, had a rendezvous with destiny.
QB7.
What?
It's the courtroom. Queen's Bench 7.
Hey, Kelly Smith. Yes, sir. Sir Adam. Sir Adam, is it true that Polish witnesses who were imprisoned with you at Jadwiga concentration camp will testify against the statements made about you by Abraham Cady in his novel?
I'm deeply sorry that I am the cause of their having to relive the horror of that time, yes.
Well, if Abraham Cady would make some sort of financial offer outside of court, would you stop pursuing your case against him?
Mr. Cady's descriptions of my medical practice as a prisoner of the Germans are totally false and libelous. I hope to secure a public apology here in an open court.
Hey, be careful.
Of what?
Well, to Cady. Mr. Cady, have you any intention of apologizing to Sir Adam for your attacks on his treatment of
Done. This is one Jew you're not going to castrate, Kelno.
You have no dignity, Mr. Cady.
As the Russians drove Adolf Hitler's armies out of Poland towards their ultimate destruction in Berlin, they liberated from the concentration camps those pitiful scarecrows of human beings who had not yet been murdered by the Nazis. One of these was Dr. Adam Kelno.
Dr. Adam Kelno. I'm Polish. coming from?
Oh, concentration camp.
I'm a doctor. I hear you're short of doctors.
Oh, no. You're not well enough. You need to rest.
Hey, listen, I need to work. No, listen, I'm a doctor. It's my life.
Pressure's going down.
No oxygen.
It's not holding here.
He's going.
Come on, adrenaline. Okay. Stethoscope.
Zero.
Adam? Adam, come on now. Don't do this to yourself.
Don't play the nurse with me. Go away.
This is no good. You're not going to wipe out Jadwiga this way.
You want me to face it? You want me to remember it? To get over it?
I know it isn't...
Do you know what it is like? To patch up, to repair sick, broken people, knowing that the Germans are going to butcher them because they're not well enough to work.
No.
To fight the Russians when they occupy you. Fight the Germans when they occupy you. And then to fight the Polish communist when they occupy you. Ah.
No, I don't know what it's like. But I know it happened. And I know that you must forget now if you want to survive. Oh, Adam, I want you to get better.
Why, what is the use? What difference does it make?
I care for you.
Oh, what is there to care for?
You went to school in England. Well, the war is nearly over now. You could go back. You could open up a practice. They'll be needing doctors, you know.
You really do care for me, don't you?
Yes, I do care.
You do understand that I cannot give you... I cannot give you what you want to give me.
Well, that's all right.
I've been with a woman for 5 years. I don't think I've known her.
It's all right. Nothing bad will ever happen to you again.
You won't have to take a step. We'll lift you into it.
Oh,
tell you, I'll fall down.
Now, what makes you think you're going to fall down?
Because the bone isn't attached.
Oh, don't be silly now. Come along, Mr.
No,
Up you come. You'll be
no.
quite all right. Come on.
Lewis,
And you.
plates, please.
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Evans.
Good morning, Doctor.
Tell me something. Who did your operation?
You did.
I did. Thank you. Well, now, if your leg wasn't attached, I'd know about it, wouldn't I?
Well, perhaps you wouldn't tell me.
No? Yes. Well, look now, let's see. Thank you. Now, this is an X-ray photograph of your leg. His name on top. Now, that is your leg. All right? What do you see there?
You mean that white line?
Yes. It is a bolt. It is a pin. I put it there. That holds your leg in its socket. Then I sewed the muscles back round it. Right? Now it is part of you. It works just like the other leg. Yes, it does. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to stand you up, put you on your feet. You hold on to this bar, and then you stand. Yes, then you take a step. Come on.
I can't.
Of course you can. Come on, don't be a baby.
Come on.
Have courage. That's right.
Put your hand on there.
She's got you.
Yeah.
That's right. Are you all right? Hold on. Right, you're standing on your leg?
Yes.
Is it falling off?
Not yet.
Good. Right, now take a step forward, please. Come on, I'm waiting. There. All right? Thank you. Hello. Hello. Who are you?
I'm Inspector Henderson.
What do you want?
I have a warrant for your arrest. It's my duty to caution you that you're not obliged to say anything, that anything you do say will be taken down in writing and may be given as evidence.
My arrest, what for?
You are to be detained in custody pending a hearing for an extradition order by the Polish government.
Why, what for?
The Polish government allege that you are a war criminal by having committed atrocities at Jadwiga concentration camp.
That's insane.
I must ask you to come with us.
Adam.
Don't worry, just a minute. Don't worry, don't worry.
Dr. Kellner?
Yes? You must be my lawyer, Mr. Tuckerman.
In England, solicitor is the phrase, Dr. Kellner. May I introduce your barrister, Mr. Robert Highsmith?
You do.
Hello.
I prepare the case, and your barrister does the actual presenting of it in the court.
Yeah, must say I'm overwhelmed that you're representing me.
Thank you.
I must also tell you that I'm somewhat apprehensive of your fee. I have an idea of what it would be.
Members of the anti-communist Polish community in London are paying that fee.
Oh, I don't know anyone from there.
Well, they know you now if they didn't before.
You must realize it will be free on bail, of course, if it weren't for the international implications of all this.
You have heard the charges against him.
I couldn't believe that they were talking about me.
I think you should know the fact.
Well, this, Dr. Kellner, is from a document prepared by the Polish government and sent to the Home Office. And the relevant part is That the said Dr. Adam Kellner, as a prisoner doctor in Jadwiga concentration camp, removed healthy ovaries and amputated healthy testicles of Jewish prisoners in collaboration with German sterilization experiments.
That is monstrous.
Did you have contact with the Dr. Tesla in Jadwiga?
No, not really. He's a communist.
They'll be looking for him as a key witness against you.
Oh, yes, and I can imagine that he will say anything that they tell him to.
Well, fortunately, they haven't been able to find him, so you may not have to worry about him.
Well, I won't worry in any case. You know, this whole thing is so incredible. I can't even begin to cope with it.
I'm afraid you'll have to cope with it. You must realize that the Polish government is prepared to make a major effort to extradite you.
Polish government?
For the communists. They are the Polish government today, after all.
You do understand this, Mr. Highsmith. You do see that the communists will tell any lie at all, to discredit anti-communist Polish patriots, to make people believe that we collaborated with the Germans during the war.
Well, for that reason, we can hope, unless there are surprises we haven't anticipated, that a British court would not hand you over to them.
Oh, there will be no surprises, believe me.
Nevertheless, we must be prepared for anything. Above all, during the proceedings, don't get carried away by your political animosity.
Oh, please, sir, please. I mean, you cannot expect me to react to this incredible conspiracy in the spirit of Christian charity.
No, but I suggest it as a posture in court. I will try to have your case heard as quickly as possible.
All right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Try to be patient, Dr. Kellner.
Oh, yes, I can do that. You know, after 5 years in the hell of Jadwiga, I can do anything. Goodbye.
Zaminsky, comrade. Intelligence section of the Foreign Office. Thank you. Well, now, Henry, what can I do for you? How well did you know Dr. Adam Kellner when you were imprisoned with him at Jadwiga?
I stayed away from him. He was an anti-communist.
The word is traitor, comrade. We are the state now. Anti-communism is treason.
Of course.
The party wants to establish that traitors like Kellner collaborated with the Germans. This department has been ordered to bring them back to Poland to stand trial as war criminals. Kellner is my assignment.
And you want me to testify against Kellner?
Oh, no. The British court would scarcely let us extradite Kellner on the word of a loyal communist like yourself.
Thank you.
How well did you know Dr. Mark Tesla at Jadwiga?
Well, we three operated together, but I knew Tesla as little as I know Kellner. I understand he also escaped from Poland to the West.
Escaped? You see, without Tesla, the British courts will insist upon hearing testimony from Jews that Kellner sterilized and castrated. We are hoping you can lead us to them.
I don't see how. The Germans were using Jews as guinea pigs to find a practical way of mass sterilization of what they call the degenerate races. They'd hardly keep records of that.
I seem to remember in the transcript of the interrogation that preceded your admission to the party, you referred several times to a medical log kept by an orderly. Indeed, you specifically insisted that it would prove that you had never taken part in these experimental operations or collaborated with the Germans.
It seems to me there was an orderly that kept a log. Zubotnik. Yes, I remember, too, that he was half Jewish, which was odd. Normally, they only kept the Jewish doctors and nurses alive.
If he was half Jewish, he'd have a great reason to keep a track on what Kellner was doing to his people. Do you know what happened to him? No. Have you ever been to England?
Once. Before the war. Why?
I have to go there for the trial. Can you recommend a good London bootmaker?
No. I'm afraid not. I could not afford bench-made boots.
Thank you.
And I'd like you to do me a favor.
Yes, Doctor.
There is an engineer named Igor Zobotnik. I would like you to take this note to him for me.
Yes?
My name is Zaminsky. I'd like to have a word with you.
What about?
About Jadwiga.
I was questioned when I joined the party, comrade. They know all about Jadwiga.
Yes, I've read your file. It's a pity you couldn't turn over your surgical log to the Russians when they liberated the camp.
If the Germans burned it.
You served under Doctors Lotaki, Kelno, and Tesla, correct?
Yes?
In your file, you are quoted as stating that all three were kind men and did what they could for the other prisoners.
Yes, but at the time I was questioned, I didn't know Dr. Kellner had defected to the West.
And what do you have to say about him now?
Oh, he's guilty.
Of what?
Of, whatever you're charging him with.
You know, Sobotnik, you're a little disgusting. Where is Dr. Tesla?
How should I know?
A Jew? You have Zionist contacts?
I'm half Jew.
Then you have half as many Zionist contacts.
Why should I have any?
Because Jews always have to hedge their bets. You never know when a country will turn against you, do you?
I have the utmost confidence in the Polish People's Republic.
We are flattered. Now, we need to know the names of Jews experimented upon by Kelno.
Yes, well, I told you, all the records were burned.
Your memory wasn't.
A man named, Elianus, yes. Elianus. He was castrated by him.
Who else?
That's all I can think of. I swear.
Where is he? And don't say you don't know.
He's on the island of Cyprus, waiting to get into Palestine.
You are sure?
My sister is there. She wrote me a week ago.
Write down both their names.
Is that all?
For the moment. Comrade Sobotnik, you're a survivor.
Comrade Zaminsky, I'm a Jew.
Speaking for His Majesty's government, as I have been empowered to do in this case, I must say that while we are bound to adhere to our treaty of extradition with the Polish People's Republic, we are aware that safe refuge given to political exiles is part of British tradition. We must make morally certain there is substance to the charges brought against Dr. Kelno by Ambassador Crancy's government before we violate that tradition. Mr. Bannister.
I should like Dr. Ronald Fletcher called.
Call Dr. Fletcher, please. Dr. Fletcher, have you examined a man named Eli Janos?
I have, sir.
And what did you find?
The poor devil's a eunuch.
I object. I don't think that sort of editorial comment is warranted.
Damn well is a poor devil, isn't he?
I should like the learned magistrate to inform my opponent that we
I
are
will inform both of you that I have chosen to conduct these painful proceedings informally. Contentiousness among counsel, however stimulating to the press, will be restrained by the court. What did you find clinically, Doctor?
The testicles have been excised from the scrotal canal.
Bring in Mr. Eli Janos. Escort Dr. Kellner from the court, please.
Mr. Eli Janos.
Mr. Janos, we understand the special circumstances of your being here and wish to spare you as much of this ordeal as possible. Now, will you tell us what preceded your surgery at Jadwiga concentration camp?
I was working in one of the concentration camp factories, making German uniforms. I had 2 months left when I was taken to the medical barracks.
2 months left for what?
2 months left to live. The Germans had it calculated that taking into account number of people available, it was worth feeding you on a minimal basis for 7 months to get the most of work out of you. After that, you were usually so weak, too weak to work, and they murdered you in the gas chamber.
What percentage of these prisoners were Jews?
75%.
What happened when you were taken to the medical barracks?
2 elderlies held me down while this doctor put a needle in my spine.
Were you given a local anesthetic first?
No.
Was it painful?
It was painful.
Do you know the doctor's name?
Kellner.
Had you ever seen the doctor before?
No.
Well, then how do you know it was Dr. Kellner?
He hated Jews and collaborated with the Germans.
Mr. Highsmith is asking for more positive identification.
Then you do not know it was Dr. Kellner?
While the elderlies were holding me down, he hit me across the mouth and said, "Stop fighting, Jew." The only doctor in Jadwiga who could do this was named Alan Kellner, and everybody knew it.
I object. This is not evidence.
I admit this is not evidence, but this is not a trial in the ordinary sense. It is an extradition hearing.
There is no jury, gentlemen. Please continue. Do you know why they were doing this?
I found out later they were trying to find a way of sterilizing conquered people as fast and as cheaply as possible. They were experimenting with X-rays and chemicals and castration. With me, they were trying to find out how fast the operation could be done. One of the elderlies timed it with a stopwatch.
Now, you are absolutely certain you can identify the man who operated on you?
I was conscious all the time. He showed me the testicles after he removed them and said, "Have a last look, Jew."
Are there any further questions? No, sir. I am at this point taking a most unusual liberty with the approval of counsel. Will the bailiff please bring the men in? You understand what an identification parade is, Mr. Janos?
It has been explained.
One of these men is Dr. Kellner. You are to identify him. Now, Mr. Janos, can you identify Dr. Kellner?
I do not recognize any of them.
I can only conclude
I should like Dr. Kellner to stand alone.
That won't be necessary.
This business has been a nightmare for a kind and honorable man who has already suffered agonies beyond our imagination at the hands of the Germans. Now, we, the English, supposedly his friends, have impugned his reputation and cruelly imprisoned him. Once and for all, there must be no doubt about this. Justice must be done to this blameless man.
Dismiss the others.
This is not the man who castrated me.
I can only conclude that the Polish government has failed to establish a case for the extradition of Dr. Adam Kellner to the satisfaction of this court. I therefore dismiss the case pending against Dr. Kellner and release him from custody. Court is adjourned.
Thank you.
How could you people make this kind of a mistake?
I believe that we were deliberately misled by two party members.
Who are they?
Dr. Lotaki and his orderly, Subotnik. They must have known that Janos couldn't identify Kellner.
How would they know that?
Because they collaborated, because it was Dr. Lotaki who conducted this experiment, and because they want all evidence of the operations discredited and expunged.
What will you do about them now?
What will I do?
And your superiors?
Nothing, comrade. The party realistically is only concerned with the wartime activities of anti-communists like Kellner. Where is a good bootmaker?
I beg your pardon?
For men's boots.
Maxwell's from Dover Street.
Thank you.
Well, are you satisfied now?
Obviously.
Now, what does that mean?
I have a sense of unfinished business.
Well, have all you want. The matter is closed.
Hello. I wasn't tired.
But you haven't had trouble sleeping since the war. What are these for?
The boat schedules.
You're not planning on a vacation, are you?
How do you know I'm not?
Oh, because I know you too well, Adam Kellner.
I haven't completed my plans yet.
Adam, I am having your baby. I think you ought to tell me.
We're going away.
You what?
We're going away.
But why? Your career is here. Why do you want to go away?
Listen, you were in court with me. You don't have to ask questions like that.
But the court ruled in your favor.
The communists have lost one round. They never give up. You understand? Sooner or later, they will get hold of me and try me.
They wouldn't hound an innocent man, not here.
Angela, what do you think Polish people like myself were doing all those years when the Nazis had this in those concentration camps like Auschwitz, Treblinka, and Jadwiga? What do you think we were doing? We were fighting the communists to the death for Poland, and we lost. We lost. And your country, for instance, France, and this country, England, they recognized them. So now, we are Polish exiles.
But you are safe here.
Look, I tell you, they will never give up. We are going where it is safe, far away. I've just joined the British Colonial Service as a medical officer.
To serve where, Adam?
Kuwait.
Where on God's earth is Hugh Wing?
I'll show you. It's here. The Middle East and the Persian Gulf, it is a sheikdom, British protectorate. The drilling for oil. There we are, Kuwait.
Wasteland. What on earth are we going to do if we get there?
I'm going to look after the workers who run the pumping station, and you're going to look after Stefan. Hey, do you speak English? Yes. Tell me, how far is it to the pumping station?
Yes, mister, yes. Doesn't understand English.
Well, it's probably, what would it be, 3 hours away. Hey! There! Stop! That must be my clinic. Hello? Please. I'm Dr. Kelmo.
Doctor.
Yeah. Tell me, who was the last doctor here, please?
Just me.
I'll get my family settled in first, and then I come back.
Yes, Effendi, yes. ما تخافيش. One heart.
God.
After years of dedicated drudgery, Adam Kelno brought the medical standards of his tiny clinic in Kuwait into the 20th century.
Really, why are you going?
Look, Angela, I'm a doctor.
Yes?
So I need new kinds of patients. You understand? I mean, nomadic Arab tribes. The Bedouin. Desert instead of city. That's why I came here, you know.
Can I come with you?
Yeah, sure you can. You want to be a doctor, don't you?
Adam, you're not serious about taking him with you.
It's a marvelous experience for him.
Absolutely not. I mean, it's bad enough that you're going.
Look, I'm bored. I'm bored with clean, orderly clinics.
But that's what you wanted.
Common diseases.
That's the job you took.
There are people out there with dietary deficiencies we've never even heard of, with hereditary diseases that can be challenged. You know, people who've never even seen a doctor in their lives. Why, you know, this is what I've been waiting for.
You told me that you wanted a chance at a quiet, normal, orderly life.
Yes?
You finally got it. I don't understand why you want to leave it.
That do what told you.
I should have thought that you, of all people, would have had enough trouble and challenge for a lifetime.
Angela.
You said, when we came out here 3,000 miles, that you wanted to be anonymous.
Yes.
You wanted to get away from the communists who were out to, what, to kill you.
Look, what has that got to do with it, anyway?
I mean, they'll bloody well know where to find you if you become the Albert Schweitzer of the desert.
Hey, Stephen! Hey, listen, I won the Nobel Prize for you. Make you very important at school. Hey, you never have to work again.
Oh, Adam, you really are an impossible man.
What she says about your father, I'm impossible. Is that right? Okay. Now, let's go.
Look after everything, won't you? Right.
Listen. I'll be 3, 4, maybe 5 days. That's all. Bye now.
Am I going? No, you're not.
Oh, you look after your mother, okay? Go out maybe 10 days' time. All right?
Another time.
All right.
Take care, Dorothy.
Be careful.
I'm Dr. Kellner. I have a letter from the office of the Emir. Sheikh Hassan Al Nagar. Thank you.
Please follow us.
My name is Dr. Kellner. Here is a letter from the Emir.
This is my son, Jabir.
Hello?
You may go, Jabir. Return, tell me when she begins the pains.
I share my father's good fortune in meeting you at last, Doctor.
Thank you. It's your wife? She's having a baby, Sheikh Hassan?
2 of my wives, the second and the third. It never stops.
Do you have midwives here?
Women to help?
Yes.
Of course.
Thank you. Tell me, is it ever unsuccessful?
Many die in childbirth. It is probably why Allah ordered us to have many.
And what happens to the babies, the newborn babies?
They die too. But our family has stayed at the same number For 6 generations, we see to that.
No, your son, sorry, what was his name?
Jabir.
Jabir. Yes, he was very well spoken. How old is he?
24. He has not been blessed. This letter says you have some business to suggest.
Well, yes, not exactly business as such. No, it explains that I have been here in Kuwait as a physician to the oil workers for a number of years now.
Yes, we have heard that with very little to work with, you have done wonders.
Thank you. We wish now to bring treatment and medicine and doctors to the desert. No, please, excuse me. Shikhan-san, please, all I ask is that I can bring modern medicine to you and to your people to make my life much easier for you. You see, for instance, I know how many children you lose from diphtheria, or what you call the throat disease.
That is Allah's business, not ours.
With all due respect to Allah and to your people, I ask you whether in your heart you completely believe that.
The riches from oil and all that has come with it will make infidels out of this nation in 1 generation.
No, but you see, you don't. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I'm sorry he doesn't hear. He's deaf.
But since birth?
No, it came slowly upon him. You will stay the night with us, I hope.
Oh, yes, please. I will be delighted to. Yes. Ahmed.
My wife had a child last night, and she is well this morning.
She was lucky.
My men tell me you thought she would not be well.
I could have made it much easier for her.
You know, you puzzle me. What do you really want from us?
Well, there is enough suffering in the world which cannot be avoided, and the doctor wants to treat that which can be. My wife, she's a nurse. Please, would you let me bring her here to stand by me as I treat your women?
Well, I cannot see how this can profit you.
It is my profession.
But my profession is to be a trader, and I do not give things away. Now, if you will excuse me, Doctor, I sense that somewhere you must have fallen from God's grace to want to give of yourself this desperately to strangers.
Well, if you will forgive me, Sheikh Hassan, I do not think you understand the difference between the philosophy of the Prophet Muhammad and that of Jesus Christ.
All right. With your wife to help.
Yes.
Would it be necessary for you to actually see the private parts of our women?
Not if you make it a condition of my being allowed to return here, no.
Well, I will be honest with you. I care in a very un-Eastern way for my third wife. And when she comes to her term, I would like to be certain that I do not lose her. So if your wife will attend her labor, I will give her permission to examine our women.
Thank you.
I didn't know you hunted.
Oh, yes. But not only for the food, but also for the quality of understanding between man and death.
Very sophisticated.
For a primitive people.
No, I didn't mean it that way.
Yes, but you think that.
Hassan, I want to talk to you about survival of diphtheria.
To stop the child from catching the disease, you give it to him.
Yes, mildly, enough to protect him from a fatal attack, yes.
And the poison you put into him, he gives through his blood to his children.
No. There is no medical evidence of that.
Once we had locusts, and the British aircraft came and killed the locust with a spray. Then the sheep lost their wool and died from the spray. Allah keeps careful books, Doctor.
All I want is to cure your children of diphtheria now.
Even if you could without future harm, I cannot permit it.
Why not? Tell me.
It would build a dependence on your world that would eat at us. What is wrong with my son?
Not the Amir?
Yes.
Listen, let me ask you something. Have you seen this softness in any others of your line, or have you heard of it in any other generations?
Well, there was one in my grandfather's time, but very distant from my blood. I don't think it is in the family.
Might still be curable.
I have never spoken about this to anybody, but he cannot have a son. The shame will destroy him.
Yes, I agree. It is awful for a man.
You used the word curable. You think anything can be done for him?
He lacks a male sex hormone. Do you understand me? A male sex hormone which is called testosterone. I'm saying it could be supplied to him.
And it would give him the strength to provide a child.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, well, it could, yes.
Hmm. And how would it be given to him?
By inoculation.
Would you be prepared to do this for us? We could pay very little.
Listen, it would cost you nothing. It would be my privilege, please.
Oh, thank you. But nobody should know about this.
Absolutely no one.
Very well, then. If after you have completed your work, he can produce a grandchild for me, I give you my word that you may inoculate my people against the throat disease.
Good. Thank you.
Hello, darling. Hello.
Yes, I know if you say good morning first.
Good morning.
That's a good boy. Spirit. Get the bandage. Do you want to do it?
Yes, okay.
You know how to fix a bandage, don't you?
Yes.
But don't make it look too easy now. Never be a doctor, though. Well, he may as well start now.
You think he really wants to be a doctor?
Yes. Well, I want him to be. What is this? Is this the testosterone?
I'm afraid it is.
What do you mean you're afraid?
Well, how much can you give, Javier?
More than he's got. The hormone is present in him. It's just not enough.
How do you know it's not genetic and incurable?
Because I know. In terms of numbers, I have probably done more of this kind of work than any other doctor in the world. That's why.
In the concentration camp.
Yes, in Jadwiga. I know how wrong it is for people to suffer and be deprived when modern medicine can help them.
Well, I won't dispute you medically, but on a practical point of view, you are basing all your hopes of helping those people on your ability to cure Javier.
Yes.
And what if you fail?
Then, my darling, it would have proved your point that I should not have involved myself in the desert with these Arabs, won't it?
Oh, but since you have, I want it to work out for you. For all of us.
It will. It will, believe me. Javier will have a child. Believe me. Yes.
Mr. Clinton Meek is here.
Who?
Oh, he's the new colonial officer. He said he was coming.
Send him in, please. What does he want?
Well, I suppose he wants to introduce himself. He did say he wanted to discuss your article. Dietary deficiency in desert nomads.
Oh. He probably wants to congratulate me.
Somehow, I don't think so. How do you do? I'm Mrs. Kelno. This is my husband, Dr. Kelno. Mr. Clinton Meek.
How do you do, sir?
I've done very well up till now, thank you very much.
Well, my wife tells me that you have thoughts about my paper in the medical journal.
I have one thought. You shouldn't have published it.
Oh, why on earth not?
Dr. Kelno, the ruling families of Kuwait make millions of pounds a year out of British oil. How do you think it'll look if you write that with all this money, the desert Arabs still haven't got enough to eat?
Well, in the first place, it is not a question of enough. It is that they eat wrong foods. Anyway, what do you mean by how will it look? To whom?
To the Colonial Office, to the British public.
Look, these people's dietary deficiencies are voluntary. I'm not accusing anyone of starving them.
I understand that perfectly. The fact remains you succeeded in embarrassing both the colonial administration and the Kuwait government. You may easily succeed in arousing these unfortunate Arabs to a restlessness...
That would be a step in the right direction.
A restlessness which might well be exploited by the Russians, who would dearly love to deprive us of our oil.
I'm sorry, but politics have nothing at all to do with medical science.
I'm not prepared to argue with you about it.
But I am.
I'm afraid I'm not.
What is it you want Dr. Kelno to do?
Stay out of the desert.
Is that an order?
Let's say it's a very well thought out suggestion. The British Foreign Office doesn't need to order.
I see. Yes.
Your wife seems to understand the situation. Perhaps you listen to her.
Good day.
Good day.
Well, what did you expect me to say to him?
Came here to find a place to be safe. It isn't much, but we have it.
Look, I'm trying to help those people out there. I'm trying to bring them into the 20th century. What is a doctor supposed to do?
Oh, I have met a lot of doctors in my time, but I've never met one who thought he had to take the burden of all the sick people in the world on his back. Always seem to try to get away from yourself into some kind of work. And if you're not working, you never seem to enjoy yourself. Adam, I love you. Do you know that? I'm just trying to help.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry I love you too.
Do you?
Yes. And I'm grateful to you. I'm sorry.
Pleases me very much, Doctor. Khalil! This is Dr. Kelno. Khalil, the father of Saura, the bride.
Hello, Doctor. How do you do?
Good, thank you.
Down.
I hope when Jabir raises her veil for the first time, he will be pleased. He should have had a real beauty to help arouse his love.
Sahora makes up in innocence what she lacks in beauty.
How can they say that in front of her?
You suppose he'll see nothing wedding day.
Oh.
To share the joy of your host is a privilege, Doctor.
Well, I'm just concerned. You know, you should have consulted me before you permitted the marriage.
The Sheikh doesn't consult on family matters.
I know, I didn't mean it that way. Thank you. No, I'm talking medically. You know, he may not be prepared for marriage yet.
But he's growing a beard.
That does not necessarily mean to say that he can produce a child, you know. Not necessarily.
Well, I pray for it. And if you expect to use us to fight the throat disease, you pray too.
Oh, thank you. Shukran. Nice, very nice. They don't even offer her any.
Because she eats big meal after she's with husband, and now she eats nothing.
I see. Oh.
Welcome, Wanda, mother of my daughter, husband to be.
It is time. The groom's mother is with the bride, so it is time for you, my son, to sign the contract. Go to your bride, my son.
I'm very, very pleased, my son. I'm very happy, my son. Thank you, Mrs. Kellner. We're very indebted to you. Well done, Doctor. There is something for you to see. Come with me. Your wife planned this. She had no more doubt than I had that I would have a grandchild.
Of course, naturally.
Thank you. Are the refrigerated?
Naturally, as they should be on dry ice.
Good, good. Right, Stefan, do you want to prepare the entrance?
Yes, sir.
Good. You know how to do it, don't you?
First lady?
And you'll be a big doctor, huh? Right.
Give me your arm.
Do them properly now. All right? Take care. Okay. Next.
Birthdays be celebrated in peace throughout her reign.
Queen.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may smoke.
Cheer up, Adu. It only happens once a year.
Oh, they make me tired. The good old British Empire and all that.
They must be us, surely, by now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have an important announcement to make, which gives me great pleasure and surprise. The Queen's 1959 birthday list has just been released from London, and the Colonial Office has informed me that among those chosen for the honor to the Empire is Dr. Adam Kellner.
Adam!
He's been awarded the Order of Knights Bachelor. Sir Adam, speech.
Well, thank you all. I don't know if this honor has been given to me for my work with the desert Arabs, or my nutritional research, or for my perseverance in simply getting the job done. Whatever. I am awed and deeply appreciative that the nation which has given me refuge and opportunity has so recognized me. But I'm very grateful to you all. Thank you. Thank you.
That concludes our little party for the moment. If anybody cares to dance, the music will play for you. And as you know, the bar is now open.
Sure. Don't go too far now. Have a good time. Don't get
break
lost.
anything. Adam, you realize we can go home now.
Because of this?
Even if they wanted to, there's nothing anyone would dare do to Sir Adam Kellner.
Angela.
But they couldn't.
Come on.
They never could. They never really had anything to fear.
Angela, don't.
Oh, all right. The communists aren't bothering Polish exiles anymore. Oh, they're far too busy surviving themselves. For you.
To us.
Oh, it'd be wonderful. You can open up a practice in London. An exclusive practice in Mayfair. How'd that be? Oh, you deserve success and comfort. Well, we both deserve it, I think.
No, you're right. Yeah. Yes, you're right. Could have my own clinic.
Of course. The clinic in Mayfair.
No. In the East End. The Elephant and Castle.
Adam, but that's the slum. Oh, my God. Well, haven't we suffered enough?
Suffered for what? Come on.
Oh, Sir Adam, my congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Lady Kellner.
Thank you.
Okay, cheer up. We're going home.
Cady's descriptions of my medical practice as a prisoner of the Germans are totally false and libelous.
This is one Jew you're not going to castrate, Kellner.
While Dr. Adam Kellner was escaping from the communist conquerors of Poland, young American writer Abraham Cady, as a volunteer in the British Royal Air Force, was doing battle with the would-be Nazi conquerors over the English Channel.
Just like that? That's right, she replied.
She says that.
That's right, she does.
Do you really think a woman would ask a man to do a thing like that?
She's just a character. Now, Samantha, I appreciate everything you're doing.
But why don't I just shut up and type?
Exactly.
May I ask a question, Abe?
No.
Something I really don't understand about writers. Are you writing this seriously or just for money?
Everything I do for money is serious.
No, what I mean is, do you believe what you're writing?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not writing the great American novel. I couldn't.
I think you could.
This comes from your many years of experience as a literary critic, right?
I know you can write seriously.
Well, I couldn't afford all my various vices.
Thank you. Mail from the States, Philadelphia.
Ah, my father. Read it, will you?
Dear Abe, thank God you are promoted to an office and out of the airplane.
Yeah, well, I didn't write him about the crash. He'd decide I was permanently blinded. He'd do such a scene in the shul.
Abe.
Oh, you don't know Jewish fathers.
He sounds more like your mother would have.
Well, that's the thing about Jewish fathers. The mother nibbles away at them all her lifetime, and when she dies, her soul enters his body and finishes the job.
Honestly.
Come on, read me some more.
This girl, does she come from a good family? Those English Jews can be very stuck up. He thinks I'm Jewish.
So let him think. I couldn't tell him your father was a lord, and on top of that, a Gentile.
Would it really matter to him?
Well, there's an old Yiddish story about that. It doesn't really matter. He'd just have a small stroke, that's all.
Be sure you let them know your father isn't just an ordinary baker. Tell them we have the best Jewish bakery in Philadelphia.
Well, when I was growing up, we were very poor.
Take care of yourself. Don't go out in the fog too much. It's bad for the sinus. Your mother, she should rest in peace, would be very happy you stopped flying. Love, Papa. It's a sweet letter, Abe.
Yeah, it's all right.
Can't imagine feeling that way about one's parents.
Who is it?
It's me. I work late.
Come in.
You weren't asleep, were you?
Sit here, will you? Damn bandages.
They'll be off soon.
Yeah, well, one good thing, I'll be able to see when I go to the bathroom. I'm pretty coarse, right?
Really, you're outrageous.
Are you afraid what it'll be like when the bandages come off? And things are less unprecedented. Whether we'll feel the same way again, so forth, so forth.
And so forth. I suppose I'm a little afraid.
Well, you don't know what kind of a prize you are. Money, title.
Not everyone is as secure as you are. People who love each other want to be together. Prizes get won.
I was always taught to take my gloves off with a lady.
Is that what it is? Is that really true? Is that all?
But I can't be exactly agile.
doesn't matter, darling.
Samantha.
What?
Close the door.
Got a whole lifetime to be a great lover, eh?
I know. I have to get over the feeling that someone is scoring me all the time.
You're just a big fool, aren't you?
Afraid so.
Mr. Shawcross?
Yes.
Shawcross, the publisher?
Yes, yes.
This is Sergeant Flory, Marylebone Police Station here. Do you know a Yank, sir? Name of Flight Lieutenant Cady? Says he's a writer.
What's he done now?
Well, he's out of uniform, claims you publish his stuff.
You called me at 2 a.m. to tell me that he's out of uniform?
He's naked, sir. Found him swimming in the fountain in Trafalgar Square.
Bring the idiot to me, Sergeant.
Couldn't understand what I was doing in an RAF uniform, those bobbies. I said I'd gladly transfer to the American Air Force, but I like this uniform better. Probably why I enlisted in the first place.
Stop talking and drink your coffee. Now, what's this all about?
Oh, these are patronizing reviews, David. You want me to read them to you?
I've read them. What's all this drinking?
Well, the war's over. The bandages are off, and I don't like what I see. About to be discharged, anxious, etc.
Why have you and this Samantha broken up?
Oh, well, that's a vicious circle. She's afraid that when I see her, I won't like her. And I'm afraid that if I see her, maybe I won't like her. It's a standoff.
You've been with her, haven't you? Knowing you.
Now, whoever started the rumor that the British are reticent?
Everything was as it should be?
Impeccable.
Well, what makes you think that actually seeing her would be any more? All this?
Well, it's the male animal. This one, anyway. All right, David. You do know me. I have to control situations. I'm panicked if I don't. Hell, I can't fly if anyone else is on the flight deck. I don't control this.
Think you can pull yourself together by lunchtime?
I doubt it.
Pity. There's an absolutely smashing girl from the BBC been asking to interview you. Obviously intoxicated by your work. Seems to think your stuff fairly reeks with masculinity.
Well, I like that. Let's talk about me a lot.
I've asked her to lunch at my club. Maybe you can reek a little and get back on the flight deck.
I'll try, David.
is your bird. Cynthia Green? Abe.
How do you do? Won't you sit down? I took the liberty of ordering you a martini. We were just discussing the singular efficacy of those things. Seem to work on everybody, except book reviewers, right, David?
Cynthia was very taken by the sheer personal vigor that pokes through in your writing.
Oh, you were? Ah, that's hopeful. Now, here's to vigor, and so forth.
And so forth.
David, I am going to kill you. Samantha. Well, you know you're going to have to marry me. Unless you preferred me blind and helpless.
Don't test me.
Elizabeth, you were a year younger when we married.
Well, she's so vulnerable.
If ever I've seen a child less vulnerable, it's Samantha.
But going to the States, to California, to Los Angeles.
What are you, honey? Goodbye. Take care.
I can't wait to see my father and your folks meet. I'm sure my father thinks English lords really don't exist.
I wonder what he'll say when he finds out we're married in the church.
I don't care what he says.
Well, I'm perfectly willing to go through a Jewish ceremony if you like.
I would not like. I don't believe in the Jewish thing, or the Christian thing, or the Muslim thing, or the Buddhist thing. You disapprove?
Well, you have to believe in something.
Why?
Because you feel empty if you don't.
Well, I believe in myself, and I believe in money, and I believe in Mum's Extra Dry 1939.
I wonder if you'll always be able to do that.
Do what?
Pass everything off with some kind of a flip remark.
Are we about to have our first fight?
No. All right, then, something practical.
Yeah, what's that?
Will I like Beverly Hills?
You'll hate it. But for $200,000 for the film rights to the Squadron, and for $5,000 a week while I'm writing the screenplay, you'll get used to it.
Maybe it should be Dad or even Morris. It was a calm trip on the boat.
Very smooth, thank you.
Good food on the train from New York.
Oh, yes, it was fine, fine.
Hey,
Papa.
You like California?
Well, we don't know yet, Papa. Let her catch her breath, huh?
A new person from a different faith even comes into the family. They should be welcome.
Oh, it's lovely, Mr. Cady.
I want you should see the pool first. Traveling all the way here when you're having a first baby, I understand. It's not easy. Well, that's the way it is. You lose someone, you gain someone. A wife lost,
A daughter again. Maybe a granddaughter. It's a cycle.
Well, it's not exactly your father's estate, but...
It's remarkable.
Sure is. About as California as you can get.
Huh? It's not what you wanted. I should have rented for you.
It's fine, Pop. It's fine.
Oh, it's exactly what we wanted.
Sometimes I can fall asleep in the pool on a tire.
A white wall, naturally.
Oh, Abe, stop it.
What's the matter?
Abe, a person gets tired. I'll look after the luggage. Maybe we could all take a dip before dinner.
Good.
Let's go inside. I'm dying to see the nursery.
Nursery?
The baby's room. They do have rooms of their own, you know.
Oh, sure. Well, he could have a wing all to himself.
Or she can.
Satisfied? Huh?
I think I'm still in a state of shock from the trip. It's been an exhausting few weeks.
Well, you'll get used to how people live around here.
Oh, I'm sure I will. It seems to have been built and delivered all of a piece.
That's true. You rent it by the month, along with a butler, a pool man, and a gardener.
I suppose what strikes me, and I'm thinking of England, so it's foolish, I know, but what strikes me is that it all seems so temporary.
It is temporary. It'll last just as long as the head of the studio likes what I write.
We are going to be happy, Abe.
We'll work at it.
In the 2 decades Adam Kelno struggled to survive, first in Kuwait and then in London's slums, Abe Cady earned fame and fortune as a writer of motion pictures. His son Ben was born and grew up. His father Morris grew old. And Samantha became more wife and mother and, in her husband's eyes, less woman. Abe, like Adam Kelno, became successful and restless.
What's with the fun hat, kid? Huh?
We had a minion for Seymour Levy, the gentleman who died last week.
Did he sucker you into this?
I didn't mind.
Israel again.
I was showing Ben where I'm going to live in Tel Aviv.
I'm doing a little brainwashing on the side, right?
How can I help it? He has a grandfather, a subversive. Hey.
Yeah.
How many movies you wrote?
Oh, I don't know, 6 or 7.
And 2 Academy Awards, yeah?
Right.
And not one word about your own people.
Gunther, where are you?
Here we are, Herr Cady.
Hope nobody ever tells that crowd the war is over and he's not a prisoner anymore. We'll have to start paying him.
The war is over, eh?
What does that mean?
It means maybe they wouldn't like it too much, the war in the movies anymore.
Well, you take care of your minions, I'll do the writing.
I'm not trying to tell you what to do.
Well, then don't.
You want I shouldn't have minions here anymore?
Now, whatever gave you that idea? Papa, to you I will confide the secret.
Yeah?
You got me talking that way. I mean, the world does not revolve around what happens to the Jews. I mean, before God takes a breath, he doesn't ask himself, is this good or bad for the Jews?
Sometimes you don't even seem Jewish to me anymore.
I've been married to a Gentile woman for 20 years. My son was raised like a Gentile.
Not because of Samantha. Don't blame it on her.
Why don't we just cool this?
Who cares what he is?
At least he should know what they did to his father's people and nobody lifted a finger.
Concentration camps were long ago. Why should we lay it on his generation? Better we forget about it.
If we forget about it, it could happen again.
Papa, be Jewish.
Be as Jewish as you want to be. But don't make it a cross you have to bear.
That's a mixed metaphor if I ever...
Can't you be more careful?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Craig. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. That's a play, Ben. Got a woman who's hung up on good housekeeping.
Hey, Samantha works hard to keep the house nice.
Hell, so do I. Let's take a drive to the beach in the Jack, huh?
It's 6:30. We'll be having dinner soon.
After dinner, then.
Abe, it's a school day. Ben has to study.
Maybe we can go after dinner. What do you say, Mom?
We'll see. Go on, Ben.
We'll see what? If he washes his hands? If his manners are impeccable? If he's respectful?
I'm not going to argue about
Then
it.
and only then he can take a drive with his father. As a reward.
There has to be some discipline in a boy's life, even if there isn't any in the adults around him.
My third ear tells me that's another one of those rationalizations you're addicted to.
To which you're addicted. For a writer.
Where are you going?
Family quarrel, I shouldn't interfere.
Well, you interfered enough with Ben. He gets all that stuff about joining the Israeli Air Force from you.
This from a boy who couldn't wait for Pearl Harbor. He should run away at 20 years old to fly with Englishmen.
I want to talk to you.
Want a martini?
I'm serious, Abe.
Can't be serious and drink a martini. The Anglo-Saxon Puritan ethic.
You're so bloody literate.
If I weren't, I'd have to turn to crime to support this family. Okay. You have my full, even enraptured attention.
This isn't funny. Oh, maybe it is. Who is Mary Smith?
Mary Smith is the distaff side of the registration that illicit couples use in motel books, such as John and Mary Smith.
In your witty manner, are you denying you know a Mary Smith?
I am not now, nor have I ever been acquainted with Mary Smith.
Why do you treat her so shamefully? Mary Smith followed me all the way down Beverly Boulevard, crying her eyes out, complaining that you've been unfaithful to her.
Well, she's crazy.
Oh, of course she's crazy. You've never touched another woman since you've been sleeping with her.
That's right, I haven't.
Thank you. I don't know what the word for male slut is, but that's what you are. And that's the way you're bringing up your son.
Inside.
Are you crazy? What about the private line?
I answered it. It was your actress friend.
What does she want?
Well, she says she doesn't mind losing her lines. You shouldn't make a fuss.
Not her, my wife.
Something about a station wagon.
What about the station wagon?
I've been waiting to take it. I'm late already.
Take it where?
Don't you ever remember anything after cocktail time?
Oh, try to improve your responses. You said that yesterday.
I explained to you very clearly that I had to drive to the Long Beach Museum for the British Art Show. You said you had to take the station wagon because the Jag needs to be lubed, but I could pick it up at 3 o'clock, and it's now 3:30.
I'm obviously in a state of mortal sin. Can anything be done?
Just give me the keys, Abe. Do you have to be so brutal? Why do we have to go through these ridiculous little quarrels all the time?
There are so many important things to quarrel about.
Is there petrol in it?
The car is full of gas. You've been in this country for 18 years now. Look, I'm sorry I forgot about the car. Yeah, I'm not that sorry.
You really are a wretch, Abe. Let's try not feed on each other like this.
Nice to see you. You can take the MG.
Thanks.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
The time will come.
Yes, I know. It's called menopause.
Unnatural. People have to share everything as a sign of their love. And I'm not talking about constant sexual intimacy either. I'm talking about sheer day-to-day contact. At the very least, if people have to live together, they should have separate apartments. Bathroom, dressing room, and sleeping room.
Well, in other words, you have to be rich to have any kind of a good shot at marriage.
Right.
Uh-huh. Well, then tell me, why do more rich people get divorced than poor people?
Because poor people can't afford divorces. You know why you and I get along so well?
Because we only see each other once a week?
That's right. If we lived together, we wouldn't get along at all.
If we lived together, you wouldn't be seeing anybody like me and getting away with it. Hello? Oh, yes, Mr. Harris. Ken said you'd call. No, 9 tomorrow's fine for me. And Jason's even better. Oh, well, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Now, how do you know what you do? You haven't been with one man long enough to find out.
Nobody asked me.
Come on, you'd hate it if anyone asked you.
If you say so.
You know why?
Could I stop you from telling me?
Because you feel unworthy. You find it hard to believe that anybody would actually want you for yourself. So, you go and sell yourself to prove you have any value at all. You've sold yourself so often. There's nothing left to give away.
You know, you should be sitting up, and I should be lying on the couch. You're not going to charge me $50 an hour for this, are you?
Why not? I probably owe you more than that already. I've come to a big decision about you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to write a book about you. I'm going to call it The Bed.
What, do I get a piece of the action?
Why? I'll make you the what do you call it? The technical advisor. You give me all the clinical details.
What are you building, Abe?
If everything I write turns to junk, I'm gonna be the best-selling junk writer there is. And that's awful. All right, Papa, you can come out. You don't have to lurk in the doorway clucking your tongue at me.
I wasn't clucking.
Up here, you were clucking.
I'm your father.
Oh, don't you people ever give up? Why are all Jews such parents?
Listen, Abe. You people, too. Without interfering with your business, I'm trying to tell you what you're doing is no good. Yelling at me, all right, I understand. But Samantha is a woman.
I have two people to argue with in this house. It's a regular cabal. If you're such a nice Jewish father to me, why do you always take her side?
Because you're wrong. Because you were brought up to love God and to obey his commandments, and you are turning out to be a bum, and I want you should stop.
I want you should stop. Been in this country all your life. Can't you learn to speak English correctly? You've done that 3 times already.
I have a feeling I've left something. Had some good things in this house.
Yeah.
We have. Among the bad.
I know. Changing your mind?
No way. I know you'd rather stay here, and I know you're going to London for me, and I want you to know how much I appreciate that.
I don't deserve any credit. Just getting rich and slowly dying here in Hollywood. I have to leave.
Will you do me one favor?
What's that?
When it comes time for Papa to board his plane for Tel Aviv and us to board ours, will you accept his love? At least pretend.
You never quit.
We ran down a long time ago, Abe, and we know it, but your father, he's going to live in Israel.
A pioneer at 83.
Fact is, you may never see him again in this life.
London is only 4 hours flying time from Israel. Probably see him twice a month.
Israel will be at war within a year. Everybody says so. Then what?
Are you sure you're not Jewish?
Dad, the studio car is here.
We'll be right there. Hey, take some of these bags out. Come on, there'll be plenty of time for that at the airport.
Well, Abe, this is the first house Samantha ever had. And Ben was a baby here.
Yeah, well, she doesn't have to leave.
People have mixed up feelings. She feels one thing, she feels another. Not everybody's sure like you are.
Have you read my son-in-law's new book? The Bed? I'm afraid I have. Yes, the Americans have rediscovered sex. Abe is a pioneer in very good company, I believe. Mark Twain and Benjamin Franklin both wrote pornography, you know. Don't you adore Samantha's dress? I think it's absolutely beautiful. I just can't believe she got it in Paris.
That's right. And you?
Billy is so coming to us.
Well, it's always the way. You take the credit, too.
As a journalist, I'm fascinated by one facet of your work.
Yeah, what's that?
Its quality of uninvolvement, of studied uninvolvement, I suspect, made possible by simplistic and undemanding themes.
Hey, that's good.
If one examines it, one finds out that your first novel was about peacetime flying.
Yeah.
Your second and third novels about wartime flying. And your fourth about fornication.
Peacetime fornication. I still have the one about wartime fornication to do yet. Now, listen, honey, I'm not a very profound man. I wake up every morning very happy there's money in the bank.
Oh, I don't believe that of you. I think you know there are obligatory themes for a man in your time and place.
Nothing is obligatory for a writer.
Israel will soon be at war with the Arabs again. There's your chance to connect. And write about wartime fornication at the same time.
Yeah, I'll do that. Excuse me, will you? Well, you're not going to be a miser, are you, David?
Margaret Alexander, my friend Abe.
How do you do?
Alexander. Now, how do I know that name?
Alexander the Great?
Alexander Woolcott or Alexander's Ragtime Band?
Brandy Alexander?
Oh, now you're reaching.
How about Thurston Alexander?
Oh, of course. The American Secretary of State. Yeah. Under President, your husband, God forbid.
My father.
Oh, scholarly gentleman. Look just like a Secretary of State ought to look. Where is he now?
On Elba, plotting to return.
Excuse me.
I hear they're taking a flat in Mayfair, just behind Shepherd's Market.
That should make Katie happy. Old pups, young gals, and new money.
That's right.
All in the same neighborhood.
That's right.
Now, you know, David, I have been staring at this woman across this whole dreary cocktail party.
You asked for this party, Abe?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I've just been attacked by a female barracuda disguised as a literary critic. It seems I should write something good about the Jews.
Our subject, other than beds and aircraft, you know.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'm only comfortable with one or the other.
Have you met Margaret Alexander? Samantha.
How do you do? Hello?
May I have a word with you, Abe?
Oh, sure. Excuse me.
I have a splitting headache. I'd like to go home.
What, in the middle of a party?
I didn't say you had to go, and nobody will miss me, I assure you.
Oh, no, I'll take you home. Bye. I'll call you, David.
He's going to ask me for your telephone number, you know.
I've only been with one married man. That's a mess.
Shall I give it to him?
This is very unlike you, David.
He isn't coping very well.
Well, I doubt this would help.
What he really needs is love.
She loves him?
He needs true love.
Well, maybe he only wants to find someone he can talk to.
No, he'll talk. Will he talk?
All right, I was vaguely annoyed at you. Phoning me just when I decided you weren't going to.
Well, to tell you the truth, I was a little nervous about it. You're not the girl next door, you know.
But you managed to overcome it.
Well, you were just too smashing. And I didn't think it would bother you too much that I was married.
Not enough. Where is she?
At her family's estate in the country with our son.
I take it you're not getting along.
Well, no worse than usual. Right now, she's jabbing at me because I'm not writing.
Why aren't you? I would have thought that a writer...
You're not one of those people that thinks work is ennobling, right?
Don't you get bored?
I have nothing I want to say.
Well, you certainly spent a lot of time trying to say it.
Zing.
I meant it sympathetically.
Well, I thought I could go on writing junk, but it turns out I can't. The bed finished me.
Ah, I love London. Every part of it. Makes me cry when I think of the children long gone who've played in this park.
Yeah, well, that's another problem. I don't think I ever cried.
No. I cried almost every day when I was a child.
Oh, yeah? You know why?
Yeah, my father. He's a superbly intelligent man, very graceful. He wielded enormous power gracefully. Well, you know, it's in all the history books.
Then why'd you cry?
Well, he wanted me to be as strong and bright as he was. I tried for him, for his approval, but I was always afraid I'd fail. And because I was afraid, of course, I did fail.
Oh, well, at least you tried. I don't. I guess I'm afraid that if I do, and I can't make it. I mean, if I really can only write things like the bed, I won't be able to stand it.
Your parents must have demanded a lot of you, too.
That's a built-in hazard in a Jewish family. I couldn't get along with my father as a kid, and it's worse now. He's obsessed with the need for unity among the Jews as a weak and oppressed people. That's why he's in Israel now. He has to identify. See, my father's kind of thinking offends me. It offends my sense of being a special individual. I don't want to be thought of as weak and oppressed. I don't want to be thought of as a...
You don't want to be thought of as a Jew. Oh, I'm really sorry. I should have said that.
But you meant it. Because it's true. You know an anti-Semite when you see one.
Oh, don't, Abe.
Something I've had to live with and face for a long time.
But you don't have to face it right now. This afternoon. Neurotic, anti-Semitic, and all.
I don't know what your father expected that you didn't give.
I called you all night. I finally had to drive in from the country.
Yeah?
Your father's had a heart attack.
Yes, El Al, when is your next flight to Tel Aviv? Yeah, well, I can still make it. Abraham Cady. Yes, I understand. At the accommodation desk. Right.
It's been all gone for us for a long time, hasn't it?
This isn't the time, Samantha.
I think it is. You're tough enough and remote enough.
Yeah, probably.
There's just no place to go. I think we should end it before we begin to hate each other any more than we do. And before it rubs off on our son any more.
Are you jumping on this because I didn't come in last night?
You haven't come home any night for the last 2 weeks.
That's true.
Is it someone you care for, or is it just...
I care a lot. Does that make it better or worse?
Worse. I'll drive you to the airport.
No. I'll take a cab. Let's not torture ourselves. Tell Ben I'll call him. Tell him his grandfather's ill.
He knows. I loved you as much as I could, Abe.
I know. I wish I was as sure I had.
You're hard to give to. Maybe only someone like yourself would be enough for you.
Don't.
It's not the end of the world, is it? I'll pray for your father.
I'll call you when I get there, huh?
And I'll pray for you, Abe.
I'm Abraham Cady, the son. Who are these people?
Do you speak Hebrew?
I studied in school as a child.
They are Chevrat Kedisha, people who deal with death in the community. It's considered a great tribute to your father for them to be with him. He must have been very pious.
Yes, he was. You recognize me?
Act as though he does. One never really knows. The son, Abraham, Mr. Shmuel, Mr. Ben Dan.
Thank you for being with my father.
It is a privilege. A very charitable man.
Papa. Papa. Papa, it's Abe. It's Abe. What is he saying? I don't understand him.
Yiddish.
Yes, Papa.
He says, be a good Jew, I love you. Say the Shema for him.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
In Hebrew. Shema Israel.
Shema Israel.
Adonai Eloheinu.
Adonai Eloheinu.
Adonai Echad.
Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Mishpor Eloheinu Avinu Vel Tzadik V'Yosho. V'olach Lefonech V'Kecha Kavod Adonai Yasafechu. Tishka V'Sholom V'Shisha V'Sholom Ad Ki Yom Menachem Mashbiach Sholom. V'Hino Am Adonai Eloheinu Aleinu Ma'aseh Yudeinu. Kon Aleinu Ma'aseh Yudeinu. Kon Aleinu Yoshe V'Seser Yavitzel Shai Yisloram. Om Adonai Ma'asi U'Mitzorusi Elohai Efaheru.
may the soul of Maurice Cady come to his place in peace.
Yitkodal, Yitkadash Shmei Rabbah. Yalma Divra, Triyutei, Yamlich, Alchutei, Vayitzmach, Urkaneh, Yikarev, Yeshicheh. Yihachon, Ube Yomhon, Ube Haye, Kol Bet Yisrael, Agala, Ubizman Kariv, Bimru. Amen. Alme Almaya. Itvarach, Vishtabak, Vitpa, Vitromam, Vitnase, Vithada, Vithale, Vithalal, Shmed, Kudsha, Brichu. Ose Shalom, Vimromav, Uyase Shalom, Alenu, Vialkol Yisrael, Vimru. Amen. Amen.
To reach you, and then I heard your father had died. So I flew.
Yad Vashem?
Sure.
It's the memorial to all the Jews who died in concentration camps. My father always wanted me to go there.
Oh, let's go.
Stop at the Wailing Wall, driver. It's a tradition here to leave a prayer for the dead, Margaret. Yad Vashem, Israel's memorial to the victims of the Holocaust.
thousands were found to have been hastily committed to lime and the frozen earth by the retreating Nazis when the Russians overran the most dreaded concentration camps, those of Auschwitz and Jadwiga. The Russians, not inclined to long trials of war criminals, disposed of their Nazi captors rather directly by Western standards. Firing squad. In the Nazi concentration camps, 12 million were murdered, 6 million of them Jewish. Arbeit macht frei means freedom through work, a greeting at the entrance to all the camps. Under this cruel joke, the rescued poured out by the thousands in 1945 as they had been brought in by the millions during the years before. In Barracks 125 at Jadwiga, the Nazis had been conducting secret physical experiments on prisoners in the name of medical advancement. How fast and efficiently can a Jew be castrated with minimum anesthesia? How long can an infant live without food or water? The effects of forced malnutrition on a 4-year-old as opposed to a 10-year-old. How many times can a child's legs be broken and set before they can no longer heal? What kind of wounds and lesions produced experimentally are impervious to skin grafts? How many blows with a rifle butt can the undeveloped skull of a 12-year-old absorb before there is permanent damage to the nervous system? Dozens of Nazi concentration camps scattered throughout Germany and conquered Europe. Unheated barracks were bursting with women, children, and sick old men about to be murdered in the gas chambers. Tattooed, numbered for extinction, hundreds by the hour. The Nazis, always methodical and frugal, developed a method of murdering 1,200 prisoners with only 4 canisters of lethal gas. At their peak, the gas chambers of Jadwiga were destroying 20,000 human beings a day.
My God. Makes you ashamed to be a member of the human race. I know that.
I want to do the testing of the Jewish people by the Lord God of Israel. I want to take them from the ovens of Jadwiga to Sinai and Suez. I want the reader to be there when they hoist the Star of David over Jerusalem and rekindle the eternal flame. I pray that God gives me the talent to do it.
Lord.